My name is Dorothy Johnson Booker, better known as Susie. I grew up right in this neighborhood, and over top of my right shoulder, I grew up way back there behind this great house for many years. This area here was a thriving area at one time. This used to be Ball's Mill. This used to be Horner's Mill. People used to come from all over the counties and the surrounding counties just to work down here. This was where they cut lumber. This is where the bark stayed at. And if you look right across here, the store is gone, but that's where Dorothy Jones restaurant used to sit. Everybody who came in town, when lunch came around, they would go there for their lunch. These houses that you see behind me were all solid white and had white picket fences when I was a little girl. And if you go down the road right along the track line, you see where we used to have the post office. One house that sits in there is over 150 years old. They were going to take it down at one point, but they could not remove it because it was over 100 years old. So they have remodeled it. The state gave them money to remodel it, and it's beautiful. And you have to come to Moseley to see it. But when I grew up, there was nothing living in these houses but Caucasian people. And we would walk along the tracks when the train came through. And as a little girl, I loved the train. And I used to hear the train coming. I used to run from home just to come out and count the box cars as they went by. I had a lot of family down here. All the blacks in this neighborhood was related. Uncles, aunts, cousins, and so forth. Down the railroad track a while, there was a man called Britt. Britt was a Granger who was my grandmother's, and his mother, and his father were brother and sister. And I remember one day Britt would walk the tracks, and he came over to what we call Froggy Bottom where I lived, and I heard him come calling, "Susie, Susie, I want to go to Midlothian." Well, at that time, Britt didn't drive, so I got in my car and he told me, he said, "You take me down to Midlothian, I'll pay you, give you gas money." So I got up out of my bed. Mind you, this was 1 o'clock in the morning. I got up out of my bed and I took him down Midlothian. I said, he got ready to get out of the car. I said, "Britt, you say you were going to give me gas money. I ain't going to give you a blank thing." So you know what I did? I put him in the car and I brought him back to the tracks and put him out. He said, "I'm going to tell your daddy. I'm going to tell your daddy." But that was family. We loved our family and they loved us. When you did something wrong as a child and somebody else told your mama that they did it, they punished you first, and then when you got home, you got punished again. But this day and time, you can't say anything to people's children. You can't put your hands on your own children. So, you know, that's just how things has changed. If you look around, everything has changed. This was a beautiful, beautiful neighborhood. Across there where you see the little brick building that's falling in, that was an office for Horner's Mill. That was the office. Right over my left shoulder was the office for Ball's Mill. But back in those days, everything was pure white down here, and it was beautiful. But you got to come on down to Moses and just take a walk around. You can still see the heritages and the things that has grown down here. So come on down, get the book, and come on down to Moseley.